want to talk a bit about research that I completed with Raj Chetty and other scholars that examined trends in the amount of absolute mobility in the United States. So what do we mean by absolute mobility? Well, it's actually very easy to measure. You simply ask whether or not someone is making more than their parents. So you take a person at age 30, you ask what their household income is, and you compare that household income as against the household income of their parents when the parents were also age 30. If the kid makes more than the parents, they're upwardly mobile. If they don't, they're not. And so then you might ask, what are the long-run trends in the amount of absolute economic mobility in the United States over, say, the last half century? And what we found was that about a half century ago, nearly all children made more than their parents. Over 90% of children were upwardly mobile relative to their parents. What about now? What about, say, 50 years later? It turns out it's a coin flip. About half of the kids are making more than their parents and half aren't. Why do we care? Well, this is a very important part of the so-called American dream. The claim under the American dream is that each generation should do better than their parents. And what we found in this piece of research is that that's not true to the extent that it once was. It was almost always the case that kids made more than their parents, and now it's a coin flip. So what caused the change? What we found was that the main source of the change is the way in which economic growth is distributed. In the past, it was widely distributed. All children bore the fruits of economic growth, and that then meant that all children were very likely to do better than their parents because they profited from the economic growth that was playing out in the US. Now, where does economic growth go? It goes mainly to the top. So if only the folks at the top are profiting from economic growth, they have a shot at beating their parents, but the rest of the country doesn't.